mean, I see obesity as being very large, very big, but that's not the case.
Overweight, large, out of control with your eating and everything else.
That it's wrong, that it's out of your own. You've got control over it, but you've kind of like lost control.
I think it is a problem. I think it's difficult, but I think it takes a lot of willpower, and I don't think people have much willpower anymore.
I maintain my weight and keep the weight. I watch it and I don't let it go over a certain weight. But technically, I am slightly obese.
A bit on the large side myself. I mean, I know there's people bigger than me, but when you're on the charts, sort of thing, and the doctors and it comes back obese, sort of thing, it doesn't make you feel good at all.
It's overweight, but you've got control over it and you've not done anything about it.
And, uncomfortable.
Nobody wants to be obese.
Sort of overweight is bad enough, but obese I think is a bit of a bad word to use, but I'm not sure what else I could use.
I'm a bit there, I think, as well. Sorry.
What about cool? Yeah. Okay, let's choose a different one. Which one would you like?
You got grapes over there, you got chocolate biscuits.
Chocolate biscuits? Grapes. Alright, let's do the grapes.
How many do you think?
So,
there's less calories
in a
than
portion
the
of
apples?
grapes, okay, so there's 100 calories in the 2 apples. How many
take
calories do you think are in
125.
this many grapes?
So you all think there's more?
Do you think it's more or less?
There's more. You'd be surprised, it's actually less.
Yeah, it's more.
Because when you
It's
look at that
actually
packet,
less. It's got 60 calories.
there's a lot of air in that
And,
packet.
you know, there's a lot of
There's
water in
actually
here. There's a little bit of
volume
sugar.
that you eat
Okay, but
is-
that's
is
why it's
very
got
thin.
less calories in the
There's a
apple.
lot more water, and water takes up a lot of space. So
Yeah,
there's less
so you
space
think it
for
had more sugar than the apples? Apples, I think, probably have a little bit more
What
sugar.
about,
So,
what
but
about
they're about the
prawn
same,
sandwich?
okay?
Do you like
How about,
prawn?
let's try this one
Ham and
lastly,
cheese.
okay? 3
Ham and
biscuits.
cheese sandwich.
If you have 3 of these
How much do you
chocolate
think-
biscuits,
How many calories
do you think it's more or less than the grapes?
300.
In terms of calories. Do you think there's more calories in these biscuits than there
There's a
are the
little
grapes?
bit more. See, what you should look
Yeah?
out for.
How many more
It
do you
says
think?
with mayo, and mayo
There is
has got a lot of calories in it, which is probably that extra that you didn't account for. Milkshake? Do you like
How many do
milkshake?
you think? So this has got 60.
If you had a pint of milkshake,
100?
so the
Whoa.
same volume as
That's
this.
about
How
225.
many calories do you think?
And that's because there's a lot of sugar and there's a lot of fat in these biscuits too. That's where, because it's chocolate, absolutely. That's where the energy comes from. Okay.
360.
Burn off this pie. Yeah? Okay. So this had 100 calories. Lloyd cycled for 20 minutes. That hard. You would burn off around 120 calories. So you would burn all of that off in 20 minutes, which is good. So you get
I hate this thing, but
biscuits have slightly more calories in them. If Lloyd was to cycle here for 20 minutes, you burn off around 200 calories. That's a bit of an overestimate. You could work less. Okay. How about this chicken? So this has got 300 calories in it. 200. If Lloyd works here, he'd actually burn off 237. So that's about the same. Okay. So that's pretty good. However, the steak pie, so Lloyd's working really hard. Even if Lloyd cycled that for 20 minutes, he'd only burn off around 280 calories, and there's 800 in the whole pie, right? So even if Lloyd cycled really hard for 20 minutes, he'd still not burn this off. So let's think about this. If Lloyd cycled for 1 hour, okay, rather than 20 minutes, how hard do you think he'd have to work? So 3 times as long, just like this. So you think down here or up here? 60 minutes. Right, 60 minutes.
Very big, fat, lots of flesh. Yeah, it's, obviously it's a very common word at the moment. And there's actually, I think there's different means of obesity, and there's a borderline. For example, like my mum was diagnosed as having diabetes. She wasn't overweight, but again, she was classed as being obese. So yeah, I mean, I see obesity as being very large, very big, but that's not the case.
Oh, overweight, large, out of control with your eating and everything else. And, you know, uncomfortable, basically, yes. So, I'm a bit there, I think, as well, sorry.
What is the word obesity? How does that make you feel, or what does it make you think of?
That it's wrong, that it's out of your own. You've got control over it, but you've kind of like lost control. But yeah, not nice feelings that go with it. Nobody wants to be obese. But yeah, it's overweight, but you've got control over it and you've not done anything about it. Okay.
Great, that's really interesting. Make you feel or think of?
I don't feel opinionated about it. I just look at it logically. It just means you're someone clearly overweight, got weight issues, and 20% of their body weight is fat. I don't have an opinion either way, as such.
The word obesity kind of make you think of or feel like?
Being overweight, like me.
But you're looking quite cheery about it. Is it a cheery thing?
It's a cheery thing. Of course it's not a cheery thing if you're overweight, but I maintain my weight and keep the weight. I watch it and I don't let it go over a certain weight. But technically I am slightly obese.
Thank you very much. What does the word obesity make you think of or feel like?
Well, being a bit on the large side myself, I mean, I know there's people bigger than me, but when you're on the charts, sort of thing, and the doctors and it comes back obese, sort of thing, it doesn't make you feel good at all. Sort of overweight is bad enough, but obese, I think, is a bit of a bad word to use, but I'm not sure what else I could use. So.
What does it make you think of, or how does it make you feel?
It is a problem. I think it's difficult. But I think it takes a lot of willpower, and I don't think people have much willpower anymore. Because people are used to getting things so quickly and not working at things, which might be quite difficult to do. That sounds bad.
Where do you want to go?